Welcome everybody to another episode of Guerrilla Gospel. What we're going to get into is Second Chronicles. And we're going to talk about something in Second Chronicles that's not really talked about and might be a very big issue concerning that blood was shed, sacrifice of this particular topic right here. Well, it's concerning Hezekiah over here, all right? And what Hezekiah came and done was he defeated Assyria kings who had them in captive, so far you could say most likely brainwashed to where they were serving their gods and all this type of stuff and everything, right? And they turned away on God. They backslid, and they was in enslaved for doing bad work towards God, man. And I mean, we always have it to where we will turn away from God. I just don't get it. This is what makes it so stupid, is that we can seriously be a powerful nation, leaders and everything like that, but we will always get captivated by the shiny things that other people create or come out with, when we could either live without or we could do 10 times better, which we don't need to compete to keep killing the earth, making stupid things and everything. Because, I mean, in the year 2020, if you take a look at the academic trade, there's a new academic every 10 or 20 years that keeps us slaves, whether it's rims, shoes, clothes, drugs, food, TV shows, just anything, you dig? It's something new that's coming in the year 2020, and we're not ready for it. I mean, so far so good. We still standing in a lot of our neighborhoods and our communities since they've been obliterated since Martin Luther King and X and a lot of other brothers died. When they broke up the Black Panthers and everything. But we're going to get into that later. King Hezekiah, he came and he helped Israel. He sent letters to all the tribes that were scattered. And he told them, he said, we all need to meet in Jerusalem and keep the Passover. Now, I don't know, based on how long they was captured over here, the Passover wasn't done for a long time, it says. All right? And so what happened was they did a new Passover. Yeah. They did a new one. I gotta really fix my my antennas here. All right? And what they did was they did it in the second month of March. Let me see. Yeah, it says right there, the second month. Oh my God, I swear. Yeah, right there. Second month in every great congregation. And they arose and took away the altars that were in Jerusalem and all the altars for incense. They took them away. See, this is when they was captured by the Assyria. They sold out. So, and what happened was, right here it says, they killed the Passover on the 14th day of the second month. And the priests and the Levites were ashamed and sanctified themselves and brought in the burnt offerings into the house of the Lord. Okay? And it was a shame because they ain't done it in so long. The original Passover was renewed February 14th, which we all come to learn is Valentine's Day. Now, the St. Valentine Massacre happened on Valentine's Day by our Italian brothers, which was a deal of its own. But come to find out that St. Valentine was a real person, which a lot of these things are. A lot of these, you dig, 496 AD after that, Christianity had a part to play in Valentine's Day. Now, St. Valentine's was a Roman priest, and he was highly recognized, they said. Okay? He got beheaded for marrying Christians. Like, you dig, what a way to go, right? Yeah, so he was helping Christians also. Now, you know, judging by the fate this brother had, he got murdered doing something that anybody would do. Everybody get married, but they were Christians is what they didn't want to get married. They didn't want them to get married. Why? So they could probably keep sinning, and that's what they call fornication and all that. And that's what keep us cursed, because we don't follow the law of God. So now, you dig, this is where I kept telling y'all that people who knows how to keep the curse on us, they oppress us to where we step away from God. What you see, that's what happened over here, and Hezekiah had to come and free them. But this dude here, he's trying to go by the law of God. He got beheaded. And see, this is what they keep doing, bro. They know how to oppress and keep you away from the commandments of God. So this man died on the 14th. Actually, he killed two dudes that was named St. Valentine. Yeah, the king of Rome or whatever he want to call himself, the emperor, whatever. All right. Now, March and April is when the Passover was usually done. But why is this dude connected to the Passover? Well, the new Passover begun February 14th. This hater killed this man February 14th, and Christians made it a love day. I believe they were misled by the whole accusation of the concept of why this man most likely killed this boy. I think this man killed this high priest on such a day is because to most likely draw the scent off of this day, because they killed the lamb. That's sacrificing right there. That's what they do. That's what they was doing. Okay, and by them killing the lamb on Passover, that made it sacred. All right, the second month, the 14th day, okay? And by him doing this here, to him was either a smack in the face, okay, because he didn't start Valentine's Day. He just killed them on the 14th day, which was the Passover. And see, a lot of these people, they knew of this, now I'm not going to even call it a religion. I'm going to call it the gospel. They knew of the way of God and his people and the commandments and the upholding of the law of God. And they mocked them by doing things and all this type of stuff on special occasions. So far as Easter goes, Easter was made up by a pagan goddess, you dig, on the day Jesus rose from the dead, but they move it around so much. Easter is on so many different days. So what day did he actually he rose, right? We don't really know, because this is how much of a joke they make and mock. All right? Now this pagan goddess thought to play a game called, Easter, I guess, And this is where you would go hide behind a rock or a tree or whatever, and wherever they find you, that's where you will mate. Like a rabbit. They was just mating like rabbits. That's what a rabbit come into play at. But what a rabbit doing with an egg, right? Well, when a woman get pregnant, her stomach looks like an egg. And that signifies the birth of a child. So it takes its toll. It plays into action here. And I mean, a lot of them are seriously we all sinners, we all cursed, but some of them are wickedly evil with it, and this is where it comes into play, the evilness. And people partake into it, and they make it in tradition holidays, and really don't really know the concept of how most of these things started. And I mean, I never was a fan of a lot of things, because you could basically blame it because I was too poor to even have fun with it, but at the same time, I guess God keep things from you for reasons, bro. And as I growed out of it and started learning more and more about traditions and holidays, I come to realize that through the Bible, this is what you got right here, man. You got a man that's been beheaded from marrying people, trying to keep commandments of God, way over there in Rome and everything. That hits over there in Africa through a man named Saul, who became Paul. And it was mostly to kill off the real true-blooded prophets, the ones that God did and Jesus did talk through. Because, you see, you got the real McCoy, and then you got the prototype, you know what I'm saying? Not the prototype, you got the real McCoy, and then you got the replica. And that's what a lot of these dudes out here trying to portray themselves as, trying to, you know what I'm saying? They do it out of context of studying and long genealogy of things, and then they go into practice of how to persuade people that they are called by God. When actually, baptism is for people who is really going to die by flesh and put on the Godhead and preach. That's what baptism is really for. It's not really for people who is just saying they want to be saved. You want to be saved, just ask God to come in your life and guide you the way. And the more you draw near to him, he draws near to you. And when you ready to do this, when he know you ready to do this, that's when you'll be baptized to start preaching. And you was never to turn back no more. You dig? And Jesus had to do this same thing. But back to this guy, man. Now, after Hezekiah and freedom and everything, right? This dude from Assyria came back. Yeah, came back and tried to win the Jews again, con them into going back to being slaves again. See, it's right there. Kings of Assyria come and find. Wait, now that's when they were trying to camp and find much water. There it is. It says they entered. All right, came into Judah and. You know what I'm saying? Encamped against the fenced city. And he did try to win them for himself. Why would they do that, right? I tell you why, man. Because they know how we tends to fall right into that same hole over and over again. We really need to watch what we're doing, brothers and sisters, because some things is just not what it seems unless you read. And that's Guerrilla Gospel 1.